DHL, Logitech G, Betway, and PaySafeCard.
Oh my god! That's just map 1. SK Space Soldiers has delivered in spades. We are here on home soil for SK, and you can tell. I've had to change shirt. I was getting too hot and sweaty just being in the crowd, participating, trying to keep up. Brazil, you've been amazing so far, so give yourselves a round of applause. This is just map 1. This is only going to get better if we get the same level of Counter-Strike we just witnessed there. A full 30 rounds, Space Soldiers with some 1v3s, Fallen with one of his own, a 1v1 for the climax. I'm sated, Chad. I'm getting everything I need right now.
Look, you've definitely got to be happy with that map, right? Of course, the back and forth nature, I thought we'll get the exact same script as last time, 11-4 first half. Things looked like they were going to be the same kind of deal. So the first gun round happened on the second half. Space Soldiers opting to wait out utility, just use their dominance in that regard, trade out onto a bomb site. Nice and easy, very similar scenes to that last matchup. Then the X factor of Fallen came into play in the early stages. Got that AWP up, was constantly poking and prodding and making it very difficult for Space Soldiers. And that's where they got the key rounds. Obviously, it got very tight towards the end, but for me, Fallen was the X factor in this victory.
I mean, 11-4 half, we thought this was just going to be SK riding that momentum into the first map. It did get quite rather difficult towards the end. Were there some flaws and holes in their gameplay, or were Space Soldiers just dominant on Cash T-Sat?
Well, first I want to say that even though 4-11 doesn't sound so nice, I think it was actually a very valiant effort from Space Soldiers to be able to get 4 rounds. They got reset twice a CT. I think it was 4-1 and it was 8-1. So they were really in a dire situation. And just those 2 rounds they managed to scrap together make a whole difference, because they could have lost really early than that.
Right.
Then the second half was very interesting, because obviously Space Soldiers gets to pistol, the first weapon round, and then we see SK kind of adapting compared to the critics we had for the first game. So Fallen goes way more aggressive, he picks into B with the scout, he picks into main with the AWP. They are taking way more information. And then...
Look at that. 86 days, 21 maps of LAN cash.
Yeah, it's with obviously a slightly different roster, but it's still a very impressive stat.
I don't care. That's amazing.
Very impressive stat.
21 maps of cash they've gone unbeaten in a LAN environment, and it takes a stage like this and a team like that to dethrone them. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
that has to be addressed. That's crazy.
That is actually insane. But what I wanted to say is, I think when Calix got his amazing 1v3, I'm pretty sure he saves Space Soldiers from losing 16-9.
100%.
Because the dynamic was completely in SK's favor.
I think there was 2 other rounds there that need to really be addressed. There was the sense of, obviously, that 1v3 is a big one, but there's round 24 where SK, they just scared Space Soldiers into heading towards that B bomb site, and they were going back to what worked. SK had the stack. They had 4 players ready and raring to go to receive. They traded in their favor straight away, got 2 big opening kills, but the moment got the better of them. You saw them all go too aggressive, just trying to finish it off there and there. And from that point, it spiraled back in Space Soldiers' favor, and they started capitalizing on those SK mistakes.
And we do have a rare opportunity. We actually get to speak to Madja in the middle of this crazy series. We get to hear a little bit about his experience of walking out to this wild crowd and how that first map did go down. Trace has managed to grab him between the series.
Yes, indeed, Alex. This crowd is riveting, to say the very least, here in Belo Horizonte. I'm standing with the Major of Space Soldiers. It was a tough first map, a really long road there. What happened on Cash, man?
Well, that was a good fight on Cage. We starting CT. We didn't play very well the CT side, like the first match when we went against them in the group stage. But after that, they played very well also on T side. It was a close match, and congrats to them because they played very well. And if we lose that winning streak we have on Cage against them, it's an honor to lose against them on Cage.
Yeah, if there's anyone to lose it to, it would be SK here at home. Now, you are obviously playing against the crowd right here. It is really loud. How is that affecting the team in terms of, morale and how you guys are operating?
It's fantastic. You guys are awesome. Brazilian fans, congrats. It's an honor to play in front of you. Maybe you don't like us, but we like you, and we're going to show Dust2 a good show for you.
Absolutely. I don't think we could say it much better than that. Do you have anything you want to say to the fans back home, perhaps, going into Dust2?
Yeah, I'm going to speak Turkish because this is some important days in Turkey. İyi bayramlar herkese. Türkiye desteklerinizi istiyoruz. Teşekkür ederiz herkese. Seviyoruz.
And just like that, we're almost ready to jump into Dust2, but first, Machine and the boys are going to take us there.
Wow, and perfect stuff from Majid there. He got some lots of respect from the crowd. They put their hands together for him, and of course, speaking to his boys back home as well. It's a long way from Turkey to be doing what they do best, and they continue their meteoric climb in Counter-Strike. And he says it's an honor. I think that's the one that stuck out with me. It's an honor for us win streak on Cash to be ended here versus those.
He's a class act.
He is.
You know, you can see the way that he leads that team as well. Definitely a very passionate guy, and he's right. You know, obviously he's the enemy right now of this crowd, but to get to play in front of something like this and to be involved in Counter-Strike for as long as we all have, this is emotional for everybody, right?
Did you see Majid having to calm Paz down?
Yeah,
he's got 25 frags, but Paz, like every round, Majid's just kind of like, next round, another round, calm down.
Yeah, I think that's the key. I think that Major knows how to play with his boys, and he knows how to handle them, to focus them, and he has had a beautiful impact on the space of the lineup, really.
And an impact in game. We'll take a look at some Fallen highlights because, I mean, we have to talk about this man individual. He was doing his usual stuff. I mean, he's bouncing around that A-bomb site like no one's business.
That's the way he needs to be on the CT side. Super assertive with that AWP, especially against Space Soldiers who rely a lot on heavy executes. Now, sure, he had an all-round fantastic game. That 1-on-3 scenario, his understanding of the fact that the boost was, you know, he got lucky he saw the foot there, but the fact he's even posturing for that in itself is fantastic. Picking up the AK, closing that out.
Wow.
For him, like I said, the X factor, because when we got to the CT side, he led to them picking up some big rounds just with opening kills. Sometimes he didn't even get a kill, but he was forcing them out of position and to use utility before they get to do their execute, which is something that's very reliant on those Space Soldiers guys. Now, look, while we've got Fallen up on the screen here, I want to give props to the whole Space Soldiers roster, actually, because they're still delivering here in the eye of adversity, going up against this massive crowd, and the stars are showing up. We saw what Calix could do, and you have to give props to them there.
100%. Now we do head into Dust2. I want to make sure we get a couple of words in for our second map with just 2 minutes to go. But Dust2 coming up next. I want to understand. So this was SK's pick, and you love this Maniac. Let's return to that. You were really happy to see SK bring this map into this quarterfinal, essentially.
Yeah, I was very happy about it. I'm not really sure as to how good SK is on the map, but I know Inferno is a good enough for Space Soldiers. And I thought it was a very clever pick because I think one of the Space Soldiers' strengths rely on the tactical understanding of the map. You know, you see how they play mid-round calls. That's one of their strengths, and I don't think they will have that kind of backup on Dust2. So, you know, when you go back to, when you mishmash the cards together and it's just really like the communication, the talent, the experience, I think SK has the upper hand. And Dust2 could be a good environment for that.
That's not mince words in any way, though. SK are making a lot of mistakes towards the end of that game. Thank God for Stewie bailing them out with that 4K. And they all kept pushing and picking. The bomb is down. You could have gone with your number advantage. It was, what, a 3-on-5, a 3-on-4 situation at that point, and just played the bomb. Played Stewie as contact. As soon as he went down, makes the call, step out, kill them together. Mistakes were definitely made. Reluctance to save by SK is very confusing to me. When they're getting locked out of bomb sites and they're still going for these situations where they've got no hope in the dire stages. We're talking rounds 26, 27, 28, when it's getting to the scary stages of the match. They got to start thinking.
They really do, and it does sound like we're actually nearly ready to be jumping into this one. I mean, the fact of the matter is, it's going to be the first time I get to treat myself to Dust2 in an arena like this, with teams like this. I mean, we've seen the map introduced into the map pool, but it's time to see what Dust2 can really do. Vamos, Brazil! Let me hear you! SK versus Space Soldiers, map 2.
Map 2, Dust2. We get into it again. It's Space Soldiers and SK starting out on the T side. We'll get pistol underway. Henry, it's the only second time that you and I together have seen Dust2, but it's the second time in this event we've seen it. And it wasn't the most spectacular game when Big was on this map, but between these two, the heavy-hitting firepower, oh goodness.
A lot of aim, a lot of talent available, and the pressure of the arena. I tweeted it just now. I feel like there's going to be some insane, monumental plays brought to us here on Dust2. It's a high-fragging, high-octane map. And for now, SK Gaming have got long control. They got a P250 in the hand of Stewie 2K, allows him to go toe-to-toe with those USPs that might be on the site. But for now, nothing but silence. Coldzera, he's got the smoke for the cross. All 5 players on the long side of the map, they're not even going to smoke at all, and that's going to be to their detriment. They throw the smoke afterwards, and they've already lost a player this time. And for now, it's a 5 versus 4 in favor of the Space Soldiers. Oh, is that the bomb down? Oh, it is. It's right down in the open map.
That's the worst possible situation because it's on the inside
bomb
of
cross first. What are they doing?
We saw this the other match as well when Big was playing this. The bomb kept getting flung forward, or at least getting cut off in the cross. Now that the smoke's gone, they can actually try and fight for it. You can't really afford to jump down when your teammates are smoked off either. Boltz does manage to get 1 kill. No one is elected so far to wrap back around to Catwalk. I thought maybe they would, that they would try and retake middle, to try and open up CT spawn, to try and get that bomb. They're finally looking that direction, but watch and see if Bolts and Fallen jump down, because they might just try and overwhelm straight up.
He's going to bunny hop it.
No, he's going to bunny hop it, and he's going to throw it. Bunny hop, grab it, throw. That's exactly what he wanted to do. That works out brilliantly. He gets away with his life as well.
That was quite the play. Fancy footwork from Fallen. At least we'll get a plant. coldzera is still alive, but he's low. He wants to take down Major here. Knows exactly where he is. And that's a fantastic shot. 3 versus 3 now. The boost starts to come forward. And Engine will get one. But it needs a lot more here. 2 versus 2. Bolt's now alone.
They get the bomb down. Bolts has to clutch it back. Ooh, first shot. My goodness, he almost got both of them lined up. Goes back out for more. Calyx slowly getting higher and higher on that ramp, meaning he's more and more open in the angle. And it will be the defuse. Fallen did everything he could, you have to say, on that jump, but still, that was a chaotic situation.
Absolute misplay there from SK. I can see what they're trying to do. Try and just get out before the smoke blues, maybe buy a bit more time, bait out some shots. But the bomb goes first? Are you kidding me? That's such an error from Fur. The fact he goes down, that's a problem. The fact he's got the bomb in his back, he gets thrown. And an unlucky man, to be fair. Like, it did really roll forward quite a lot. But still, that was the reason they lost the round there. If they just get on safely with that smoke down, that's their round. No doubt in my mind. coldzera did what he could. The plant comes in, and SK Gaming take the timeout just to discuss whether they force buy here. But SK always do this. They always force buy. Sorry, they always take a pause when they discuss the force buy. It just suggests to your opposition that you're considering it at least. If I'm Space Soldiers right now, you'd be assuming the Jaeger's in the third, but now they've taken a pause. You're thinking, maybe they will get a bit more than that. Let's maybe get a few more rifles. But from what I can see, SK will just be taking the eco here. Couple of Deagles, PD-50s. Space Soldiers open things up. This is SK's pick, remember. That should have been their pistol. Unlucky in some considerations, but you feel like they played themselves in others. Round 2 will come in, no armor, upgraded pistols only, looking for that plant again. If they can get the plant down, that means an AWP is available for Fallen in the next round. They've got a decent long spawn here, you can definitely go for those picks. It's Stewie to lead the charge, he's got a Deagle, and he wants to try and find the one-taps here as they cross over, not going to connect though. And he will avoid the damage from the incendiary, so he's fine. But that was the only real chance they've got to crack this map open.
Cold with the Deagle in the lower tunnels will try and swing out and cover off middle when they walk up Cat. They need at least some guns fixed in that position to hold off anyone trying to catch them. They'll get by for free. Access granted. Calyx and Major staying inside of the B site. We talk about it, you go back to the old meta within Nuke, I think it's still rather current. I don't think a whole lot's changed in that regard. You can't really concede middle openly and hold B, but against pistols, they're willing to do so because they can play the range game. Good nade from Zaltara's pass as well. Takes down Stewie. I'm still curious if we're going to see the traditional Cat or A player with AWP at car and either a pit swing or a CT swing to B. TSM, if you will, with Agent B used to play in that position on the CT side at all. We didn't see it as much yesterday.
Well, for now, coldzera waiting for an opportunity with this Desert Eagle to find any sort of opening they can get. They've already lost Stewie, and the grenade does so much damage here. Remember, they've got no armor. They bring out AKs in the third. Cole trying to do what he can. If they get a plant towards short, that's great, but CTs aren't just going to allow that to happen. They're going to be fighting tooth and nail to make sure they don't even get close to the bomb site here. Zaltara's knows they're squishy. They've got no armor, and it will be Paz just to finish things up here, presumably. They shouldn't get anywhere near the sites.
Shots coming back. Zaltara's straightforward cleanup crew for him. They've got an early start that they did not get in the first map. He's got 4 kills total. And an early start, we'll see if that amounts to the final round they would have needed to force out overtime, or perhaps better in this map. We'll see if SK can recover. I'm going to go for the early purchase with that first bomb plant as well. So they've got AKs up. No bomb plant this time to accompany it, meaning that they don't get a massive second round investment, meaning they don't get as many nades out with it. Or even an AWP if the kills were stacked in the right direction. Bolt's caught it mid. No one countering it. They have to trade it. Good trade from Cold. They had to do that. Absolutely.
4-on-4 does favor the T's, but will they anticipate this push from Major? If he had an M4 here, this would be fantastic. MP7 certainly not ideal, but he makes it work. Not going to be good for 2 frags here, but that's enough. That's got some money in the bag. He maintains the man advantage now, 4 versus 3. And doesn't fall back towards long. His job is done. He doesn't want to risk going down and offer the advantage back, but that's a great shot from coldzera. Engine completely rattled ashore. 3 versus 3 once again, and they're going to be starting to position towards middle. Maybe a B split coming in here. There's only one player waiting. That's Calyx. he has got the only M4 available. In terms of utility and kits, he's got the flashbang, the HE, really not ideal. And he'll hold on the platform right now. Needs at least 1 kill. Nothing, and the round is over. But Stewie, what a shot that is. Clotheslines him as he 180s onto the bomb site. coldzera fighting back as well. That's his 3rd kill of the round. And Paz left in a 2 versus 1, which is certainly possible. He has 100 HP and the defuse kit. The bomb just planted, and Stewie is very low indeed.
Paz trying to find his way up middle has a problem. It's Fur behind the box. That's going to greet him when he arrives. Now, early buy does mean that the CTs don't get to build as much of a bank as you otherwise would when you get the 3-round spread. That means they can force this round, but it's a hard choice because if you lose this, you give SK 2-2 and momentum. They can quickly turn the half. Very quickly turn the half. Whereas if you concede here, stay on pistols, which it looks like that's what they're going to do, you actually come back from a 3-1, and it's almost like you lost the pistol to start out. Things kind of normalize, if you will. Oh. Sorry, I guess 2-2 in this case, but still, it normalizes in the economy.
It will be a 5-man stack, though, from Space Soldiers, all focusing towards A. We've talked about long before, it's spawn-based gameplay on Dust2. If you get a couple of players that can get out in that position, it's such a strong place to take on the map. Pushes the CTs back to the bomb site. You can start pincering towards short as well. It can be so difficult to handle if you lose long at the very start of the round. But for now, Space Soldiers will allow it to happen. They can't really do much to fight back there. They'll hope that when the commitment comes in, they can find some 1Ds, upgrades to some AKs, and maybe snowball in that manner. But they know the money's low for SK. Every kill they can find is valuable. You can see on the left of your screen right now, 3 players almost on $0 there. It's only Bolts and Fallen hovering around 1,000. So any kills they can find, certainly worth it, even if it's 1 or 2. No point just rolling over. Fight for every frag you can get here. It's unlikely you win the round, but it could help out tremendously as the game develops.
Bolts is going to swing and join for coldzera. Now Stewie as well as he comes up from the underpass, lower tunnels. Let's remember what map we're on here, Henry.
Indeed.
Stop trying to throw me off. Open B site. This round should be done.
Yeah, they've got 1 player at long. That's going to be Fallen. He's just holding up, and he will go down. He gets the first kill. Surprised he even got 1 there, but that's enough just to keep them all at A. They're going to plant the bomb now. That's going to be round over. But Engine does save an AK match, so that's something, right? Even that 1 kill is going to mean he doesn't have to spend $3,100 into the next round. He's got enough now for a full buy. He's going to have his defuse kits, incendiaries, smokes, flashbangs. It really does help out. I mean, you always talk about the benefit of having the AK on the CT side. For anyone who's not aware, you can't buy that particular weapon on the CT side, and sometimes you'll save an AK over an AWP, in fact, because it can be so strong on the defense, because you can hold more aggressive angles, go for those 1-taps, hold tighter angles, and it's overall just a better weapon for the defensive side. That's why you see a lot of CTs try and pick that up. Wow.
Tara has a great shot on Bolt. Starting to make it expensive at this point. They want that AK pack. They're going to have to go find it the hard way. Now, where did that second one go down? Did the ball push that further up the tunnels? I think it did. Calyx has got it, so they've got both. Meaning that 2 guns brought over after a save and an AWP coming out. Space Soldiers arguably have the better buy in it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a full buy on the SK side, but giving them 2 AKs, the utility to go with it. CT side AKs could play slightly different angles, and they've got a kit. It's a very solid buy. I would favor SK in it.
It's very good. That's as good as it could have got, I would say. With the AK save, they're in a great position now. AWP on either side. This is where the game really starts to warm up. Fallen showing us what he's capable of, but he takes a nade to the face, gets Molotov down. It's a risky pick to take, and so is that one, but Major nails the shot towards lower B. 5 versus 3 now. coldzera trying to recover the situation. He'll find the orb from Fallen's corpse. But the CTs are so established now. It's such a difficult shot. Bolts will try and go in first, but there's no chances. Surely he'll be dropped by the player waiting on the right-hand side. Crossfire too good. And this round is Space Soldiers all day long. coldzera, I was about to say, Engine was feeling very brave going for that kill, but manages to nail it. And it'll be Stewie left in a 4 versus 1. In terms of their cash, you can see it right now. They're only going to get 1,400 into the next round, so Stewie might want to consider saving that AK. We'll see what he's capable of here. Minutes to work with, and he's getting pincered from T-spawn, and the bomb's down along.
Stewie continuing to work around. He'll get on catwalk. The bomb at long, as you say, and a 1 versus 4. This will be a reset for SK. No bomb plant in this round. I'm going to finalize that call. Not going to happen, but he can certainly do economic damage. A win is a win for Space Soldiers, but it's a win after 2 losses and guns carried over if he can make this expensive fight. Even taking one of the AKs away from them, massively beneficial. Antara's the only one going down, means that they have to buy one M4, so it's not the perfect situation where it shows how dominant you've been and that you get 4 AKs and an AWP, but nonetheless, it's Space Soldiers that are going to take the lead.
It will indeed. Any kills Dewey can get, it's the exact same scenario. He won't be winning this, but he can make it expensive. And if he saves the AK now, that one kill he gets gives him $300, Matt. It means he can actually buy another AK and drop it for a team member. Without that kill, that wasn't possible. So that's actually a huge deal. Maybe a slight nuance other people wouldn't discuss, but I think that's so massive. Just a one kill, that extra bit of cash, he can now get Fallen or Bolts an AK instead of a Galil. So that could be the round winner. He actually goes for the Scout in the hands of Fur instead. Doesn't even go for the AK-47. Crowd seems to be riled up about something. But there it is, 3-2. Turkish squad taking the lead. We haven't got much information about them on Dust2, or really SK for that matter. It's a new map in the pool. A lot of teams a little bit cagey to play at. Fallen challenges middle with the Scout. I'm sorry, that's just an ambitious play. Same story for Major. The face on the CT side is always a little bit scary as well, but he nails it. He's feeling it right now.
Cold going to work down underpass. The fact that they've got the 3 rifles is still promising, though. If they can find that opening kill, they can certainly exploit inside of the middle as well. So it is going to be a swing position this time. It's going to be Zantares that's going to be tasked with rotating and being correct in his position. Xipix used to do this if you want to, again, take the blueprint, I guess you could say, of the CT side of TSM, which I think really did define the meta in CSGO on this map. Xipix used to swing all the time. Major on the AWP will play over toward B, meaning that they have to put Paz closer to the ramp to cover off A, and Engine anchors long. You need to anchor long if you're going to play a retake from Catwalk, having only one player there. So it's a good setup, meaning that SK needs to be perfect on their entry, take Taz down immediately, and then you can actually reverse smoke toward long. They don't have one. They've got Molotovs. That means that the vision certainly exists for Engine no matter what. Molotovs to clear Paz out. They spread to the box. He's going to extinguish, stay in position because he knows he can get them far enough in. That's when Engine gets an angle. He doesn't even need that. He's partially blind. He still fires to get 2, and bomb goes down. 37 seconds. Kolb is going to be the next to fall. Paz is looking incredible.
Yeah, that's a really solid round that. You can see SK did everything they could to get towards short. Molotovs on the A ramp. But the smoke down from Paz then follows up with a Molotov, so they have no idea. They have to run through those flames, stop and extinguish it. He's then playing the right angle, so when they come out of that screen of smoke, he's got them lined up. Look at this. Absolutely perfect. Didn't know he had 2 frags there, but he'll take them all day long. And we talked about the AK, one-tap potential. If you do hit ahead, it's an insta-kill. They line up even better. And now it's a full eco for SK Gaming. 4-2 overall. They've got no nades, no armor. And they might just use this as a small tactical timeout. You can see them just jumping around and just discussing what they'll do into the next one. That has given them the second stage loss bonus now. They'll get $2,400 on top of what they have right now. This is around 2K per player. A little bit less than Cold Zera's case. But at this point, I don't expect any kills for the SK squad here. Engine confirms they are on eco. As he falls back, a little bit frantic there. But overall contained. Zantares with the first kill. Nice work by him. Should be able to get a couple more as well.
Playing well in that anchor position. He's going to hold off against Fallen, who just walks in and gets taken down. It's going to be a 5-2 scoreline, inevitably, at this point. For it. Torres with another. Padding up the stats. He's up to 11 kills, by the way, 4 in that round. 7 for Engine. He was quiet last game. He was the only one that was a little bit behind.
Indeed.
We said everyone was contributing. He certainly had his moments, but he was well behind everybody else.
That's true. 5-2. Great scenes now. The Space Soldiers looking promising for that third map. Dust2 is not their pick, but it's still very early days here. SK can still come back and win the half. They'll go for 4 AKs here and a Galil. Dropping down Suicide, 3 players. This is brave. Major has been picking this area. He could get the opening pick once again. The flashbangs look so uncomfortable for SK here, but still continuing their push. Easy kill for Major, but no! Fur completely destroys him now with the AK. That's going to be their cue to get in towards B. Now they know middle shut down. There's only going to be 1 player here. That's Calix. Can he get anything done? You better believe he can. There's the first. The bomb goes down. It buys a little bit of time as Paz rotates in. Fallen waiting by the door, but gets nothing done at all. And this round is back on. It was looking so detrimental to Space Soldiers, but it's delayed them so much. You can see SK now only just planting, and the CTs are ready to retake.
Engine wants through the window. For the one to guard it, he needs to wait, though. Are they going to flash him over? That's the question, because he's been holding for the rotation, all 3 from the mid wall. His first starts off, Zantares goes down, that's toward the door. Engine still hasn't gotten in. He pops himself a flash off the wall, but still no access. Paz will take the aggro away from Fur. That allows him to drop in, but it's from the tunnels that they watch him off. Paz has been red hot, keep in mind. 2 kills in this round. Oh my God! He's got another. It's Stewie left to find. He's trying to stay alive. And oh, thank goodness he will.
Ice cold, Stewie holds his nerve. An intense situation there. Huge impact on the context of the half. 1 versus 1, and Fur, what a shot that was, Matt. Completely removes the AWP potential. Gets that kill towards the window, and Stewie, though, I have to commend him for how good he's been and how calm he's been in some of these clutches.
Absolutely, he's holding his nerves. I mean, he's played on the big stage before. Now he's got a little bit of a different crowd behind him. Surely that changes things. It can cause some nerves. But I was about to say, what a game Paz is having. That second, or I guess third kill, excuse me, but walking into the site, that was insane. He nearly pulled that back. And he has been a threat. Now, keep in mind, even in getting that kill, it's a 3-round reset, and it was 1 player left alive. SK is going to be on the back foot simply because of the effort that Paz put in. And he climbs up the kill charts with 9 total. I would argue that pretty much all of those have been impactful. Major on the AWP, he'll have the only one. Fallen's back on a scout, so he challenged it last time. You didn't much approve. He's going to do it again. Tries to get the cross. He tagged him. He's finally got Calyx. So weakened at the B site already.
That's great. Yeah, the scout is just such a scary prospect. If the orb does phase you, it's probable you're going down. But in this version of CSGO, I haven't seen many CT orbers challenge that particular position. I'm still ascertaining as to how prevalent that's going to be within this version. We haven't seen it too much, but Major definitely brave enough to do it. We've seen that already. So a 5-on-5, but like we said, Calyx tagged up at the very start. We'll see if Stewie can get anything done here towards B. He'll just be holding towards lower. No CT aggression here. There's not too many options for CTs on this particular map. It is a proper brawl, but it's normally the Ts that get to decide where the fights happen. Normally along mid doors. You will see some picks towards the upper B tunnels as well. CTs can push in that position after losing a kill. And we'll see Fur with the long control. We mentioned this before. Remember, as soon as you get this side of the map, with time remaining, ideally you want to leave a player in the pit, send the rest of them back towards shore, and focus and punish the CTs that are waiting on the side. That's an ideal situation so you don't have to cross. Fur gonna struggle a little bit here, but does find that first kill.
That flash came out so well timed. Remember, there's a bit of a difference on that wall now. There is this little hole, this little gap by the garages, which makes things awkward. Fur tried to fire into it, to spam into blindness. He managed to pull it back and do so quite helpfully. Look at the HP. Calyx is gone. It's Major with 3 HP, but he's got an AWP. He's going to hold off. They know he's there. A nade would do. They don't have one. They've got smokes and they've got incendiaries. Cold at least brings it to just the AWP. Major, 3 HP, 13 seconds if he can find the bomb. He might have found the round, but Cold makes it 5-4.
Exciting stuff there. The AWP operating like a turret. It felt like there was enough there to hold them off. Time was running down, and unfortunately for Major and co, they couldn't pick that one up, and it should be 5-5 now. With its eco coming in, Space Soldiers will take a timeout. A chance for us to look at the scoreboard here, Matt. I'm going to kind of look for some of these sort of anomalies. We talk about this being an AWP-centric map. The AWP is normally the stars of Dust2. Fallen currently 1-8. Money hasn't been fantastic for them. He's been mainly focusing on the scout. Did a little bit of damage in the previous round, but still hasn't really got going yet. I guess the CT side is where he can do most of his damage, but for now, 1 kill, 8 deaths. At the top, Cold Zera, where you want him to be, 8 and 7. The Space Soldiers, of course, Zantares, remember, he got a lot of anti-eco kills, so we'll take that with a slight pinch of salt, but still great stats to have. Paz, he's been fantastic. I don't think he's been padding against the Pistols. He's been doing great work against the full buys. He's on 10 and 4. The bottom is Calyx, 3 and 4, but still very early on here. We're going to round number 10, and it's just going to be Deagles and CZs for the Space Soldiers. Got 1 flashbang. Not really too much you can do on the CD side of Dust2 on your ecos. You can normally smoke the doors, but now they've seen 1 player's crossed over. For me, I'm calling let's just fall back towards B. There's only 1 player on that side of the map. Watch out for any sort of pushes here. That's exactly what's coming in. CTs will be making their way up towards shore.
They're ready.
And they are ready, aren't they? They know what's coming. Oh my goodness, Paz.
The flash made that really interesting. Cold jumped across in front of his teammates. He's going to take a bit of damage for it. They absolutely eviscerated Bolts. But Cold recovers, and he'll go back out with the AK-47. Engine goes down, and the delighted Brazilians cheer them on, Henry, as we've seen so many times already today. It's Friday. It's Friday.
Yeah, it is. Friday.
Normally quiet day at LAN.
You're absolutely right there. But Counter-Strike, is sewn into the fabric of Brazil. They love it here. It's such a massive deal for them for the longest amount of time as well. 1.6 was huge here. CSGO, they've got great teams to get behind, and whenever it is an event here in in Brazil, last time we were in Sao Paulo, the crowd just turns up in spades. Everyone makes sure they come down and support the scene, and it's just great to see, especially when you can see SK Gaming on the stage, how wild they go, Matt. It's always a lot of fun, and it's an honor to be here when SK are playing. I'm so happy that we get to witness this spectacle and the energy in the room.
A little quieter to start off this game, but SK's pulled it back to 5-5. Fallen will have the AWP again, and as we saw, he was able to find a mid pick.
He got a couple of kills that round, I believe. Yeah, well, just one with the AWP, but he's got off the mark with it now. So, what will be the play now? AWP for Fallen, and it looks like 3 players will head towards tunnel. Not going to be the rush, but a little bit faster pace towards the tunnels there.
I thought they were going to commit. They had 3 players inside of the upper B position before there was anybody even in the B side, CT side. Now, they wouldn't have been able to know that, but had they have gone, they could have easily caught them out. It's going to be Calyx and Major in B. Xantares to swing an engine to contest toward a cave. Bolts is going to hold because they have had Major. Remember, MP7 round 3 push through in that position and catch them off. So good understanding from Bolts to know that they can't leave that gap, and it's time to process what's going on Catwalk. Fur to do so with Cold. Cold has bomb. He could just leave that where he is now, and he does want to fight, but he's not going to leave it. He's going to give it to Fur.
5 versus 5 still. No real damage inflicted just yet. coldzera is setting up the smoke towards the left-hand side of middle there. That's to allow him to swing out towards CT spawn. They now are going to change for the more traditional smoke. This is a B split. You can see this building up. I don't really have to explain this one to you. Smoke towards CT spawn. One on the left as well to buy them a bit more space. The CT's aware of it. They'll be flashing towards middle. Calyx peeking from the doors. They know they can't allow them to get close to the site before a kill is found. coldzera alone towards middle, and the rest of them just trying to sneak through. Molotov deployed. Major have to play up close and personal. Good for 1.5. Could be able to set Calyx up here, but no. Bolt's too strong, so is coldzera, and that should be round. The retake is so difficult, and Fur needs to be careful. Those flames just drip down from the window. We saw it happen yesterday. As now 5-5, and now a 3-on-2 for Space Soldiers. They have not got kits, I believe. They've got a couple of smokes they can use to the door, but it might not be worth going for him.
The crazy part of that was he was on 5 HP, and Fur nearly got hit by a flame. If he had, they could have run him before the bomb was set, but Fallen holding the window with the AWP, and engine is gone. A misfire in the engine from Space Soldiers. It's 6-5 for SK, and an AWP going to be held over once again for Fallen. They're starting to build up the bank. Group A decider match. In some instances, you could call this a quarterfinal. We're still technically in the group stage because it's 2 groups of 4, but really it is a quarterfinal with a bye to the semis.
That's true, yeah. So there we go. Stewie 2K on the screen right now. Back in the black t-shirt. I will
Back in black.
Might have got a slap on the wrist at some point.
Someone might have said something.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to have him not get paid.
Indeed. We'll get to round 12, and we'll see the pistols come out. But with that long spawn, he knows up against pistols here, they can afford just to push through, waiting for the flashes of his teammates to go through as well, ready to strike. Molotov towards the car. It's a newer spot in this particular map. I haven't seen it do amazing things. It's obviously very vulnerable to the Molotovs there. If you're getting pincered, it can be great for the AWPs, I'd say late round. Not at the beginning, though. I feel like you're too vulnerable to all the grenades and flashbangs. You'll just be absolutely done for. But that's a nice Molotov. That's cool. So he's smoking CT spawn, deep in spawn as well, just to know. And there's a Molotov behind Paz there, I believe. I'm not sure it connected. I'll see where that did go. Might have misthrown it because I don't see any flames, at least towards short.
Bolt's though with 2, and Fur's going to add to it. They're blinded. Calyx is able to get 1 with the pistol, but that's all. Cold is able to get the shot of return, and now it's just engine again. So misthrown or otherwise.
Yeah, I heard it explode. I wasn't sure where it landed. That does go towards the short by that box. That's a great place to throw it. It means the CTs can't duck and weave on the corner. There's the scoreboard for you right now. 4 players to 5 for SK after having the 2-0 deficit. They do manage to pull it back. It's now going to be 7-5 in their favor. Engine just holding on to whatever he can here outside of the B tunnels. The hunt is on again. Stewie, 5 kills to his name. Bolts of 2 frags in this round. It was a partial buy with the maximum loss bonus coming in. Engine will try to hold on to the M4. I don't think he'll be found. Stewie might not commit this much towards this pick. We'll see. There he comes around the corner. He does find him in the end. Good stuff. Stewie gets it. Money removed. 7-5. And the AWP still in the hands of Fallen. The All Battle, not as prolific as I was thinking just yet. We'll see. Those still a few more rounds for us to explore the idea. That's not Stewie on your screen, I assure you that. That's Fur.
Well, Stewie is on the screen now, and he'll jump down. He's got Cold behind him. They're going to go aggressive toward what we used to call suicide, because you were always running the risk of being spotted.
Indeed.
So.
And it means you can get a short very quickly, and most CT setups will be focusing towards long. He pushes through the flames. No love lost here for Space Soldiers as Stewie looks to shut them down. My God, that's a good shot. And he'll find the first two, and Coldera looking for that third.
Huge play from Cold as well, because Molotov segregated them, and he was able to hit the shot toward the player on ramp. Otherwise, Stewie was a sitting duck, a dead target, and no fight left in him. Fur's going to get Zantares. Brilliantly done at bolts. Good timing. Good timing on the lurk. Down goes Calix, and he doesn't even need to commit. He can fall off it. Major has an AWP. SK were down 5-2 at one point in time. They're about to take an 8-5 lead.
Yeah, great stuff. You can see the loss bonus accumulating. It's a maximum now, but no weapon save once again. It's round 14 next. Each player on the Space Soldier side about $3,500. It might be worth another partial here. Pistols, maybe a scout. They'll call a timeout. They're already a map down if you've just joined us. Cash was absolutely fantastic in terms of a Counter-Strike spectacle. Great fun to broadcast, great fun to view. And I'm sure the people in the arena as well are loving the atmosphere here. It was absolutely electric. 16-14 in that particular map. This one might be a little bit more of a one-sided affair. SK look very comfortable right now, and it should be an eco for the Space Soldiers. Haven't seen a double orb set up from them yet. We don't know really how much they've played Dust2. For now, round 14 coming through, and SK in cruise control. 6 rounds in a row for them.
So 8-5 in pistols for Space Soldiers as we hit round 14. As you say, they've talked things over. We'll get back underway. Fallen not going to take the mid pick this time. Stewie will instead. That was likely spawn dependent, and he did hit Major. Major's tagged down to 19. That's again a weakened player at B. Ooh, which is an easier shot for Cold. Cold needs to be careful not to get flashed. He does falls off it. No push from Calix, but it gives him somewhat control of the angle. The fact that he's on a pistol, it's hard to hold it, but gives him a bit more confidence in doing so. Meanwhile, they have got Engine toward that long cave once again. Bolt's tasked, as always in the default, at holding that. Will force him back. They should, at this point, know that they're on pistols. And Major actually takes the nade from Stewie, so not only did he start the round off by tagging him with the AWP, he'll get his kill all the way through. As Cold as well going through middle has to watch for Calix. He's watching the smoke with good reactions. Tara's still boosted up on the box. Fur should see past his head. Very crisp, as he's easily able to remove him. They know Zantares plays CT. They drop down to clear it accordingly. And it's now Engine toward the bricks, the cinders by the dumpster. It seems to be the last one alive on many occasions as we go 9-5 for SK.
5 players survive. Round number 15 coming through. That was the eco for Space Soldiers. If SK get double digits here, it's going to be a very difficult comeback. Now, Matthew, this is what Dust2 is all about. We're going to see the auto snipers. We're going to see the AWPs. And can Space Soldiers even make it to the B site here? So the idea is, if no one's not aware, that spam we have in middle, it's the last round. They can spend as much money as they want. They're going to be trying to do as much damage as they can as they try to get over towards the B site. CTs can't get across, and they know it. But the problem is SK haven't capitalized on that. They haven't actually gone towards B, as they go for the pick still. Lots of damage inflicted. Well, maybe not too much, maybe more expected, but Stewie hit a cracking shot there towards long. That's Engine going down, and he wants a little bit more here. Going to be peeking on the corner. This guy's fast, but not quite fast enough. Zantares will take him down.
Fallen recovers, though. He actually hit Major. We didn't see it off stream, or off camera, I should say. So they still have the man advantage to work with. Fallen's tagged to the 19, and they will go toward B finally. And as you say, you're right. If you're going to play that strategy and no one crosses, you could capitalize, but they committed so many players to doing it. No one could run it. No one could actually get there in time. They will now. Smoke down at the doorways. Zantares and Calix are going to push back through mid. They want to retake potentially from tunnels. In doing so, they have to go by Fallen. Fallen is the gatekeeper, and Fallen has an AWP to keep that gate width. I don't think he'll get a free pass. It could be a 1-for-1. Goes back out, knows they're getting closer. Could be better than that from Fallen as he sits on 19. He's gotten Calyx to the edge of the wall. Zontaras is peeking from the same position. He's got to cross him eventually. He's quick, maybe not super quick in that situation. Zontaras is back to a 2 versus 2, passes in the sight. Good recovery from Cold to recognize it and Fur to hold it off. A 10-5 half.
Always a bit of a weird one, round number 15 on Dust2. The auto snipers, the orbs are out. No real kills found at the start, but Stewie cracked things open along. He did go down eventually, but ending up at the B site, SK didn't really look like they were ever going to lose that round, hitting absolutely everything. Remember that blunder at the start of this game. The bomb going down in CT spawn. It felt like Space Soldiers could really cause some damage here, but after being 5-2 up, it finishes at 10-5. Good Lord, SK looked poised to take this one.
I mean, that's the impressive part, the recovery in this half even, because at the start, it was all Space Soldiers. We saw Paz getting the 3 kills on Goose, as it used to be called, toward the A site, top of the ramp. Played it super well inside of the smoke. Zontaras was looking controlled in middle. Everything looked very comfortable for Space Soldiers. And then SK just started hitting shots, started capitalizing, exposing the defense, catching them out, and it didn't even look like they were doing anything crazy. It was just the default winning picks early in the round. Good start from Zontaras. They're going to wait and spawn as well, trying to read that push from Fur. Engine has gone around toward long A. Fallen's inside of it alone. Bolts to catwalk.
Very slow at this point. Fur tried to push towards middle. Didn't work out for him. The Glock of Zontaras took him down. And now wait now. Dust2 is all about reactions. If you lose the first pick, you need to try and capitalize somewhere else. Fallen thinks it could be long doors where they'll find success. Does he go any further than this? Zontara is aware of it as well. He has the advantage here. Fallen has to try and get out towards that pip. He'll just about make it. Still has to find kills, though. So much pressure. No backup for him. He's going down. No chance he survives this one. Oh, my God! What the hell was that? Amazing scenes from Fallen. He didn't have any say in that situation, but somehow gets 2.
It's so spectacular when you pick a player out of the air in that fashion. Fallen is an absolute god. Stewie's going to add to it. Major down. Bolts on the site, has Cold to play with him. Cold can swing out from the spawn, and Bolts doesn't have to do anything at this point. He can actually concede long. Let them get closer. Let them move up. In doing so, set the crossfire with Cold, and Cold hits the first headshot. Surely gets the second. 11-5. SK take the pistol.
That was unbelievable from Fallen. Like I was saying, he had no business in those kills. Those were just not possible in my eyes. But look at that. Takes Paz out of the air. Makes him look foolish as he picks up the pistol. 11-5 now. It will be the force from Space Soldier. The scout is out, but no damage inflicted there by Engine. Round 17 and Calyx. They'll be waiting for any CTs pushing by, but they've got the rifles out. The chance to start is to begin. The 2-0 looking likely. It's World Cup season here in Brazil, but Counter-Strike seems to be the main focus right now.
Poor Maniac has to sit through Brazil versus Switzerland on Sunday. As Brazil will kick off their campaign, and I told him if he's going to wear his Switzerland gear, he should probably sit somewhere near an emergency exit, just in case. Calyx goes out with Zontaras. They'll try and get some damage toward the core. They'll make it work. Zontaras took a heavy shot first, but then responded to get Fallen. Bolts will fall and suffer the same fate. Cold has to recover it. He's got the MP9, and Zontaras has 3 with a deagle, and he's been in red HP pretty much the whole time.
Okay then, this just got interesting. 1 versus 2 for Stewie as he does damage. They're both in red. He has got the flashbang to work with here, but is he gonna need it? Drops down in towards CT spawn. 2 players on the other side. They might not have heard him, but they are repositioning accordingly. And now the 1 versus 1, it'll be 4 kills for Zontaras if he can win this. It's so unlikely for him. And there it is, Stewie just holds them at bay. It would have been an absolute miracle, but he continues to apply the pressure. Zontaras gets 3, but Stewie gets 4. 12-5. And is this the eco now for Space Soldiers with the bomb planted?
The crowd was a little more quiet at the start of this game. This second half has exploded with kills from Fallen and now Stewie, and they are wide awake and loud as ever. I thought Zontaras did a phenomenal job with the Deagle to get that open. When the bomb went down, I got worried, but Stewie has it under control. You said it, he looks composed today. And his composure yields another round. They get to 12-5. Watch Cold as he sneaks in the underpass. A perfectly timed flash to the B sights. MP9 not good at range, says who? Cold's got headshots aplenty, and now a dink as well onto Engine. Rather not a dink, he doesn't have armor, but it's still a headshot, and Bolts will capitalize. Stewie to push. Where are you, Paz? Furs found him.
Well, there we go. 13-5. A few more rounds will do it. Space Soldiers will have the AWP. AKs for the rest of the major. He was so good on Cash, 6 and 14. Calyx, 5 and 13. Those are two big names of this squad that haven't been able to cause much damage. Not out of it just yet, but this is looking very troublesome for the major. Will take the AWP towards B. It's not a smoke. The incendiary still gains him some sort of vision towards the site, but there is a player coming to peek him. That was Stewie, and it will be Bolts and Fur to go down. Paz deals with both of them. And we've got a few more rounds to go here. This is great from Space Soldiers, just fending off the aggression. SK trying to dictate the pace of the round, but really hasn't worked out for them whatsoever.
Yeah, minute and 30 seconds. They've gotten 3 kills. Cold, good recovery. Engine spotted the gun, but didn't want to swing, didn't want to commit to it. It was a bit hesitant, and he who hesitates loses. Flash goes in. Everyone using that backside double doors, the closed doors, to bounce them off its frame and catch off anyone in doorway. It lines up almost perfectly when thrown correctly. Deter any vision from players on the cross as Fallen and Cold will head toward the pits. Not a lot of money in the SK side. Despite the 3 rounds in a row, they're still establishing themselves. They'll be able to buy in the next round, but Fallen still with the scout, keep in mind.
Indeed. Holding on to that. It's a bit of a calling card of his, though. Can do a lot of work with it. It's not the one-shot kill unless you go for the head, but still very useful. Bomb will be going off. Nice work by Space Soldiers, anticipating that aggression coming in from the CTs. You can push off short towards middle, but if the T's are in a slow default like that, they will be waiting for it. Bomb goes off. I feel like we can do more when the bomb goes off. I'd like to see the bomb side actually like explode everything and like everything just gets destroyed. It's kind of tranquil when the bomb goes off over there.
You normally don't like that.
What do you mean?
When the stage erupts and everything?
No, I mean in the actual map itself.
Oh, right.
So you just saw the bomb side can remain intact after C4.
Ah, right. You're not impressed. Yeah. I thought you said you wanted the stage and everything. No, you normally jump out of your you normally jump out of your chair.
The pyrotechnics stay how they are. I'm fine with no explosions in the arena.
Malmo, I remember
that was the one that really got me. I remember.
Shout out to Flaren. Shot missed from Major. He was very close to clipping the claws of Cold Zero toward the corner at long. Bolts will anchor down inside of the pit, and Cold will rotate back. Stewie on the op again, by the way.
Yeah, Fallen still got his scout. Stewie, AWP. It's a great AWP in his own right. 13-6 now. Not a huge reset potential, but it's certainly there. You can see that Calyx, $1,000, similar story for Engine. They need to win this round or at least get a bomb down here. I'd say considering the scoreline, it's a must-win. We'll see what they can do. Starting to position towards middle right now. 4 players at the doors, 1 towards tunnels. That's Calyx. B split looking very likely. It's one of the most common strategies you'll see on Dust2. That smoke will be negated, actually. It's Cold Zero, I think, can see above it. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen his position on this version of the map, but he certainly will. Looking for 2 frags here. Picks them up. Could even get 3 as Zontaras is right by the window. Does damage towards him. And Stewie will be taken down, but the bomb has been dropped. And Cold Zero, he ain't getting off that box for no one.
That was beautiful. Catches out the head of the window. You're right. He doesn't even want to leave his perch the whole time. Bomb still down inside of middle. He doesn't really need to. He has gone off it simply because they know he's there. Fur gets taken out. Oh, Calyx! That's impressive. Both in the same position. Slightly different aim required because they're one forward of the other. He hits 2 headshots as they tried to reface. Calyx knew that it was Fur that he killed too, so Cold must still have been there. But it's Fallen to hold it with a scout of all weapons and put us on 14-6.
That position, that box in CD spawn, I didn't realize it was so powerful still on this version of Dust2. It was incredible before, but I haven't seen it used too often in this version of the map, but still looks like as powerful as ever. Coldzera, they don't even look at him. They don't even anticipate that. He gets 3 kills from there. Calyx did well to even make the round competitive, but the Scout finishes him off, and it is now the Scout and Orb combo once again, 14-6. Feels like SK will be closing this one up momentarily. Win this round is pretty much a done deal. Stewie at the B window, drops an incendiary to buy himself some more time, and all 5 players are Space Soldiers in the B tunnels right now.
Stewie just holding off on the AWP will get flashed, just to note. He's not under threat as of yet. There's a player getting closer. Major, come here, kitty! Down goes Major to start it off. Engine still to hold on the opposite side. Remember, he was playing this position on the CT as well. Fallen still with that Scout is menacing as he'll run back and forth, has a bit of speed in his movement. He wants to bait him all the way around the corner. Tunnel that vision, but pull him from the door. That's what he has to do. That would have helped Bolts to find the angle. Meanwhile, while all of this goes on, well timed from the observers, we go back to Catwalk because Zantaro's nearly caught cold out in transition. Had he not been around the corner at the ramp, we might have had an opening toward the A site.
Well, here we go. 45 seconds. SK still with the advantage. The bombs in towards those B tunnels right now. They're going to try and explore middle. No utility used there. They don't really have much to work with. Zantara has to challenge Stu. He gets into an open position here. Needs to be careful. Spots the smoke. If Stewie gets one, that should be round, but misses the first, and now he's in a lot of trouble. Does take down Zantara, then still that Scout applies pressure. But almost guaranteed a kill here. That's the bomb down. Paz. 3 versus 1, 15 seconds remaining. Surely it's not possible. It will take something absolutely brilliant here to keep Space Soldiers in it. Flashes over.
Oh, he got hit.
It did. And still he has a chance here, but he can't plant anymore. Has to go for the kills. It's not going to happen. 15-6 series points. Great stuff from SK. And there's no money available for Space Soldiers. Less than $2,000 per player. It's CZs, MAC 10s, and what could be the very last round here.
Dominant performance considering, again, this was 5-2. There's been 1 round in the last 13.
B-Rush now, Matt. Telling you that right now.
14, I should say, for SK, or SS, and you're right, B-Rush absolutely coming in. It's Stewie's the only one in there, and he's got an MP9. He's gonna get flashed in. He's gonna just go for it. He's just go for it and in the flames. Oh my God, Stewie! Have you ever seen an ace like that?
That is unbelievable. Petabone, it's done. Stewie 2K. He aces them and dies in his own play. Shuts down the B-Rush. And that is just magnificent. What a perfect way. On their first performance in the arena to close things out. Amazing scenes, that absolutely unbelievable.
Talk about commitment. You want to talk about a devil in Counter-Strike, he uses flames and an MP9 to get an immediate ace. That might be the fastest ace in history. All 5, including 6 players, if you include him, went down within a span of about 1 second. Unbelievable. 16-6, SK go 2-0. We're going to send it back over to the desk as they'll move on to Saturday.
Have you ever seen anything like it? Absolutely fantastic. What a climax. What a way to end our first game here in the arena. I'm going to let them sing. Amazing stuff. Thank you, Belo Horizonte. You have already proven that you can compete with the very best. What a crowd, what a game, and what a performance from SK. That second map, I do have our analysts joining us, Maniac and Sponge. And gentlemen, I mean, what an adventure that was. We go into Dust2 not knowing what to expect, genuinely unsure about what we were expecting on this map. And I mean, we start with you, Maniac, because that was a true adventure.
Yeah, I think it really was. the problem for me was that SK took control of the game way too fast.
So quick.
As soon as SK had the grip on the economical cycle, you could see things were, I want to say, easy for them, and then they just rolled with the flow.
Yeah, what I thought was impressive was the fact that, look, they started with the defaults, they started relatively slow, just doing, but they had moves, you know, you saw that they've actually been working on things a little bit more tactical than what we normally see from SK. But as well as that, they had the fast plays, they had, you know, they were letting their playmakers do what they needed to do.
Yeah, they certainly did. One of their playmakers is on that stage. Let's go ahead and hear from him, the man himself, with your host.
All right, I'm here with Fallen. Senhores, eu estou aqui com o verdadeiro agora. Vamos dar uma palavrinha. A primeira pergunta é em inglês para nosso stream, a segunda em português, okay? After losing the first match in the group stage to Space Soldiers, does it feel extra special to beat them now? Is that a boost in your confidence?
Definitely. Those guys are super good. They play very good in smart Counter-Strike. I think their game leader is one of the best. He really know how to change the pace of the game. So for us, it was very challenging, but we knew that in front of the crowd, and if we play our best game, no one can stop us. So that's what we try to bring on this game.
Boa, agora em português para essa arena maravilhosa. Vocês jogando em frente dessa galera, depois de vir da Europa, e agora ter uma plateia dessa ao favor de vocês, é como ter um sexto jogador? É realmente um boost aí na confiança?
Sem dúvidas, galera. O apoio de vocês, não só hoje no estádio, mas quantos anos a gente teve que lutar para a gente estar aqui hoje, para conquistar os nossos sonhos. Os sonhos não são só os meus, são os meus companheiros de equipe, são de vocês também. Então, a gente joga junto, sim, o apoio de vocês foi sensacional. Pode ter certeza que os caras sentiram e a gente sentiu muito porque estava uma confiança absurda.
Faz barulho para SK aí, senhores! All right, back to you guys.
Fantastic stuff. That's your stage host as well, Kalway Mora. He's giving you the interviews, of course. A fan favorite here in the arena, as is Fallen, giving his interview there. I think his words, and I don't necessarily speak Portuguese, but I would assume his words were something to do with the power of the crowd.
Yeah, we get the sentiment, right? And, you know, this isn't really analysis, but this is a little bit romantic. Stewie in both maps there was the one that, you know, put up the big performance to close out the games for SK. And back in 2016, he was the one that crushed the hopes and dreams of the squad he's going now toe-to-toe in the server with as his teammates. So for him to put up big performances like this, obviously going to mean a lot to him as well.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge. It's absolutely fantastic. Now, to understand, you know, a bit more of the specifics of this one, I'm looking at the scoreboard here and I'm seeing two names head and shoulders above the rest. Yeah. coldzera and Stewie2K. We never really considered just how powerful when both of those are on. There's nowhere safe. Nowhere is safe on that map.
No, I think for SK it's actually a really, really good sign. First off, Stewie is actually popping off. I mean, Stewie was he's an amazing player, but he was amazing in Cloud9. And since then, I haven't really seen that kind of form and domination in SK. So I think seeing him being able to have so many impact frags in this game is a very good sign for SK. And the second thing is coldzera is being coldzera right now. Yeah. I mean, his stats for the tournament are really good. Despite losing one game, losing a series against Space Soldiers, he's still cruising at, I think, 125 or 128, something like that for a tournament. Yeah. So coldzera being his own self is extremely encouraging for SK.
Yeah, couldn't agree more, actually. And a props to the Turkish roster as well. This is it. This is the round. Look at this. Full flashed. Full flash, the man wins the round in the series. That's just outrageous. I've never seen anything like it.
Blink, can you miss it?
Yeah, I think I did, actually. I turned around, I saw the last frag.
Astonished, really, I think you were in that situation. But look, Paz early. He impressed me.
This is what I got distracted by the frag. Sorry, the direction I was trying to take it was. I actually think this is a really good thing for Space Soldiers.
Sure.
Like this is an experience, and what we've seen from them. I'm a big Paz fanboy now. Immediately, just seeing his composure in what have been incredibly high-intensity situations.
Yeah, they're getting thrown into the pressure cooker here, right? This is a situation where the fact that they stayed poised in a lot of situations, more so on the first and the second, sure, they got blown out of the water, but they were still hitting some shots. They weren't completely shaken by this environment. Yeah. And that's a really positive step forward for the Space Soldiers roster. And look, they were on our radar a couple of months ago. We thought they were going to get up there and be, you know, a constant in the Tier 1. Things kind of dipped away, things kind of dropped off, but here's a step back in the right direction for them, and I think they can hold their heads high and really be proud of this performance.
Yeah, and SK are going to be taking on Mouse Sports tomorrow. That's going to be That's going to be their affair. And that's yeah. Yeah, imagine.
I want to see that.
You've got Mouse Sports in their form currently going up against this SK. That's going to be a barn burner for sure. Now, with all of that said, I do want to just kind of, is there any actual plays or rounds in particular that you believe swung it in their favor so dramatically? I mean,
I think Maniac, you know, he kind of covered it with the whole sense of once they had control of the economy.
It was it.
Yeah, they were just, look, the rounds were kind of close. There was back and forth, but the closers for SK are the ones who stood up and played the situations, you know, world class to finish off the rounds. There was a fight, but it wasn't enough.
And you talked about, you know, the doors change, Dust2 change. You now have to smoke the cross. Or I saw them double nading it. Is that still a viable option there?
I think, you know, because it's a little bit higher, right, in the sense of you're going to have to cross at a different trajectory than what you used to be able to with that whole HE situation. Look, it's a scary thing now the doors are wooden again, right? You're taking a lot more damage than when they got changed to metal, so there has to be that kept into play as well. But it was, Fallen was tagging, you know, a couple times. I think it was like 2 to 3
I saw the
times.
autos come out.
Yeah, towards the end there. That's always a fun little thing to see on Dust2, especially when your cash is flourishing like that. But like I said, for their T side to have, you know, the depth of being able to do the defaults, take control of the map, and then have the moves and late round executes where they had an array, and then mix that in with the playmakers. Fur running straight out mid doors, having an opening kill. Stewie just barreling up catwalk, getting a kill onto that A-bomb site. Those are the plays that you want to be able to make in the midst of Dust2 because it's about ebbs and flows. It's about making sure you can change that tempo, change the pace, and show a lot of faces.
Yeah, absolutely. We have one very familiar face and a crowd favorite face standing backstage with Stunner. So let's check in with Stewie, the newest addition to SK.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. You know, Sadicus said it best when he said you were made in Brazil, but you're not from here. Stewie 2K, everybody, let's make some noise for him here in Brazil today. My goodness, what a play you've had. Talk to me a little bit about playing in front of this crowd, Stu.
This BO3 was insane for us. We came out with revenge, and honestly, we couldn't have done it with the fans out there. You guys were our backbone today, and hopefully in the future of this tournament, you guys stay with us, be loud. Without you guys, we wouldn't be here.
Absolutely, couldn't have said it any better myself. Now, Stewie, you guys, or should I say, you have been here on both sides of this crowd. Tell me what it's like to now have the crowd at your back.
Having them behind us is everything. I feel like on Cloud9, playing against this crowd, it was like playing against Brazil. And now we have Brazil behind us, and it's another beast.
It's another beast. Stu, do you have any words for the friends and family at home? Do you have anything you want to say here to this Brazilian crowd?
Like I said, you guys are our backbone, so we need your support. We're going to need you guys. You guys are the 10% for our 110%, so we're going to need you guys. Be there tomorrow.
Hit it, Stu. Yes, indeed. Take it away, Alex.
Oh, he knows what he's doing. Stewie 2K, Jake Yip, the young up-and-comer, poached from the public servers and now finds himself playing in front of adoring 10,000 fans for hundreds of thousands. And indeed, he's doing it in the game of Counter-Strike. I absolutely love it. Now, closing thoughts on this series, and of course, we'll be throwing it over to a break. When we do come back, of course, we have another delightful best of 3 that these fans and you guys at home will be enjoying. But just our closing thoughts, rounding this one out. SK, they have not been in any of our analysts' conversations for a grand final trophy lift. As much as romantic as it may be, it's not looking, it hasn't previously looked like it was the favorable option. Chad, has this changed your mind?
Well, look, Case was still pretty shaky, let's be honest, right? That wasn't an easy win by any means. Sure, they got across the line there in the end. They had some big plays from individuals to really the 1v3 from Fallen. Stewie towards the end, they're closing out with the 4-piece. Fantastic work there, but the sense of the matter is they need to find their identity. If Dust2 can be their map going forward, they can take anyone on and they can beat them in that fashion, then sure, they have a real chance at going the distance. It just depends on who they verse in the grand final because it becomes a best of 5, you know? We're not talking best of 3 territory anymore. We're going to have to get it done on a deeper map pool, and that's the question mark for me with SK right now.
Maniac, any additional kind of your understanding and lessons learned from this series, SK, and I mean, you Dust2, you were so happy to see it in the veto. Do you feel like that could be the new string to their bow?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Chad covered it pretty right. I think we've seen 2 faces of SK in this series. Cash was shaky, Dust2 was more clean, clinical, efficient. So if they are able to transfer this kind of form and domination on other maps, that, I mean, why not? Definitely don't
Why not?
Why not? But the thing is, against the likes of Mouse Sports, for example,
different beast.
They're going to have to bring this Dust2 performance on different maps against different players. So
it's going to be scary, and it's going to be a whole lot of fun. That's coming up tomorrow. We'll see SK stepping back into this arena, the Thunderdome, as Chad so dubbed it. For now, though, we take a break. When we come back, we get to see Big Clan taking on Team Liquid. It's going to be an absolute blast to see if Team Liquid can do it on the big stage back-to-back as they did in London. Join us after the break.